Not even about Kanye.
This morning, new
It
details
really
are emerging
isn't.
about
We know
Kanye
that he
West's
crossed the
alleged
line.
mental state as he was rushed to the hospital.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the OC podcast. Hope y'all are having a wonderful new year. On this episode of the podcast, we're talking about Kanye West. Kanye just released a quote-unquote gospel album called Jesus is King. He's trying to, I guess, redeem himself or something in the eyes of his fans and friends and whatever. He is a father. He is a husband. And that's kind of my position on it. We have this video here of him speaking at Joel Osteen's church, right? And it's Lakewood Church. And this is some super huge mega church. I think they said it seats like 16,000 or something like that, right?
Correct. Joel Osteen is also, he has already been brought out into the media as, essentially a white-collar criminal. He accepts money hand over fist from his congregates. When the awful floods happened, directly next to his Lakewood Church, he refused to allow refugees fleeing the storm. You cannot be such an iconic religious figure and then turn away all of these people that are in need and in fear for their lives.
Be like, no, we don't have room at the 16,000 seater. Go down the street.
And then he let people. And then he let people in the
know.
Lakewood Church.
Yeah.
That was like, it was only after he got a bunch of backlash from it. So this is the same guy that Kanye West is now, forming an alliance with.
Before we actually start the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel.
Subscribe to it.
Go watch the podcast playlist. You can see all our other episodes of the podcast and get you some music, business, biblical knowledge. OC Podcast, the world's #1 largest Bible-based music business podcast.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
And they're trying to control our mind.
I know that God's been calling me for a long time, and the devil's been distracting me for a long time. In my lowest points, God was there with me and sending me visions and inspiring me. And I remember sitting in the hospital at UCLA after having a mental breakdown, and there's documentations of me drawing a church.
So just real quick about his mental breakdown here. I actually did a separate video about his whole mental breakdown and how it was perceived and spun in the media, and how all his rich celebrity buddies kind of turned on him and said, "Oh, Kanye's crazy. He's a nut." He started getting into the whole Republican Trump type thing around that time,
Wearing the MAGA hat, sitting on the podium with him.
Well, I didn't want to get it twisted because a lot of those guys were kind of tying these two things together. Oh, his mental breakdown and his political ranting. So he must be crazy to support this political party rather than this political party. So I don't subscribe to that point of view. I actually think that we should allow artists and musicians, guys like Kanye West, I think we should let them have as much freedom as possible to, explore interesting political ideologies or different ideas and really push the boundaries. I think if the artists and musicians are not able to do that, and you're creating this culture of constriction and like you can't say this or we're going to cancel you. His whole mental breakdown happened, and now that he's maybe lost some connections and lost some of his status, he's trying to now appeal to a new market base, right? So I think that's sort of
that is absolutely fair.
I think that's kind of your opinion on this, is that it's purely a marketing strategy. But we'll see what he has to say here. We'll see how good of an actor he is.
And I didn't know how to totally make a gospel album, and the Christians that were around were too, I would say, beaten into submission by society to not speak up and profess the gospel to me because I was a superstar.
People like Joel Osteen are doing it for greater personal gain in some way, shape, or form. And really, it's also your congregates giving up so much of themselves that now they rely on that church. That's absolutely how cults operate.
We saw some other clips of his services where, you know, him and his choir and all of these folks, and they all have these like branded hats and branded shirts and stuff. And first of all, it's weird that they're all wearing hats in a church anyway. I mean, I guess he's a rapper, so he like they can flex the rules.
Who doesn't
a
have
little
a
bit,
brand, you know?
But you know, yeah. So
That is a cult mentality.
but you shouldn't be putting your branding all over you and like the whole entire choir in the middle
You
of the
stopped
church.
making it about Jesus the second that you put your brand name on it.
Right. So whether it's his album name or his company or his publishing, whatever the branding is, it just looks weird. I'm not saying that, you know, everybody who follows Kanye is a cult member. You might go a little further than me on that, but
I will.
you know,
But no, but I see where you're coming from too.
But the only superstar is Jesus. We're not. Excuse me, brother. I go into these streams of consciousness when I'm talking, and when you're speaking in the middle of it, it distracts me. I really appreciate the support, but I would like for everybody to be completely silent so I can.
okay, clearly Kanye has never been to a church.
Yeah.
Pretty much like especially during the sermons, like people are gonna want to, you know, say their amens and yeah and well and all of that kind of stuff.
But of course, what he's saying is everybody be completely silent.
It's a little
while
disrespectful.
while I'm saying the things, because the things that I am saying are coming directly from visions of God. You don't have them.
Yeah.
You don't have them, so don't talk when I'm talking.
Yeah.
Because I am the one that is leading this congregation right now.
Well, keep in mind you're talking about a guy who claims to be God. Like he has said that verbatim before.
Right.
I'm a god, and that's what I think. And if you don't agree, then I don't
But
like
now
you.
you work for him?
Yeah.
Like,
I
sounds
guess
like you're working for you.
I guess he got demoted.
He's pulling the
Yeah.
crank on the money machine. That's all. That's it.
Yeah. Well, again, I wouldn't go that
And
far.
I think that he genuinely thinks that he is doing it out of some sort of righteous pact. Honestly, I'm more terrified of him if he actually believes in this stuff.
I think he really does. And I think he really thinks that he's doing a good thing and a positive thing. And he could be, you know, bringing new people or different people into the church. And that could be a great thing. But the issue that I have with it is not so much with Kanye, but with the people following everything he says. And now, okay, well, now
Agreed.
Kanye is the guy. And we're all going to follow him. Whereas he's not really like a priest. He's not biblically trained, and he's not a scholar.
This man is not the second coming.
Yeah.
Vegas, they got posters up advertising, you know, sex trafficking. Because if there's an advertisement for a strip club, that is advertising sex trafficking. Because at the end of the night, when they
No, it
close
isn't.
up,
No, it isn't. It's a strip club. That is not.
Right.
Trafficking is when you. And then she gets passed around from client to client
I'm gonna have to censor all that.
in warehouses.
You're making me work. Man.
That is what trafficking is.
Well, we can Google that.
A billboard for a strip club in Las Vegas, Nevada, is not an advertisement for trafficking.
I think he was trying to do some like fancy rapper wordplay because listen to the reaction.
the manager says, "How much traffic do we have?"
Cricket. So at least they
They're like,
They
we don't know
didn't
what you're
follow-
we don't know
yeah.
what you're talking about, Kanye.
A little bit of a non
Yeezus,
sequitur there.
Jesus. What are you talking about?
If it's a man that's going through things with his family or going through things at work and he feels he has to go there, we all end up participating, whether it's the spirits that get advertised to us all the time. Alcohol they call it a spirit.
More wordplay.
So we get constant advertisement for spirits. We get constant advertisement for strip clubs and other things like that. But then we bring up the name of Jesus, we're told to be quiet that down.
Yeah, like you just told that guy behind you.
So all of that arrogance and confidence and cockiness that y'all see me use before God is now using for him.
You know, he gets criticized by biblical folks for using foul language and, you know, demeaning women and all the usual stuff every rapper does. It's not inappropriate. It's not anti-biblical. It's not blasphemy.
I'm
or
doing
anything.
it to portray a message in the name of God.
Yeah, all of that is for him. It's all for
Well,
Jesus.
Kanye, I think that if you had a YouTube channel, I don't think that God would subscribe to it. I don't think that he would.
Well, isn't he omnipresent? So would he really need to subscribe to watch a video if he can just be there, right?
He would just be there. He would be present for the entire thing
Yeah.
at the same time.
So in a way, God is kind of subscribed to everybody. And you should subscribe to the Owen Adams music channel. Let's see if there's anything else in this lovely video.
Lovely is one way to put it.
I feel that I'm standing up and drawing a line in the sand and saying, I'm here in service to God, and no weapon formed against me.
Well, then call me the tide because I'm rolling in.
I don't know what I feel about it. I still think he should be free to do what he wants. I feel bad for the people that are looking to Kanye for, like, looking up to him as some kind of great spiritual leader, though. I think maybe he should focus more on his experience.
To think of him as an uplifting spiritual leader is a very upsetting thought. He's raising a child in lavish riches. Like, what are you complaining about?
Well, here's
you
the
have,
question.
You have nothing to complain about in fatherhood.
Well, here's my question. Do you think he has nothing valid to offer a group of people like the people that would be at this kind of church? Compared to a guy like Joel Osteen?
There are plenty of other fundamentalist Christian groups who completely break down Joel Osteen as a criminal.
Yeah.
Like, as a criminal for the way that he preys upon Christian people. Like, that is something that other fundamentalist Christian groups have done to Joel Osteen over the years, and rightfully so.
Well, they have this in common. Osteen essentially is using his sermons, for the most part, as a way to sell his books. And he's had best-selling books and sold, you know, millions of books.
And I wonder how many people are buying Jesus is King now that he's doing sermons on Joel Osteen.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
they're
it's
both
the same
just as-
model.
They're both just as bad as the other one. If you own the fact that it's a scam, more power to you. I am the devil's advocate. I will absolutely say, good for you. You scammed all those dumb people out of their money. They didn't deserve that money then because they're dumb.
So you think like Kanye and Osteen are like mustache twirling villains, like
I hope
high-fiving each
so.
other behind the stage?
I hope so, because if they genuinely believe in what they're doing, then they're false prophets. They are absolutely false prophets, and they are a disservice to the religion that they claim to be advocates of.
Well, I think you could even say this. Maybe Osteen is the one taking advantage of Kanye. I still think that Kanye might have something to talk about if he stays in his lane and focuses on his...
And what are you trying to say about mustache twirling villains? I mean, come on.
Well, I guess you're a mustache twirling villain, so...
I mean, a little bit.
You got great company with these guys. They're millionaires, dude.
I might have to take a page out of their book.
You might have to start a church.
I might have to get a top hat.
Look, I'm of the opinion that he should have the freedom to do this stuff. And if people are, whatever, dumb enough or...
He deserves the freedom to do it.
If they're big
He
enough
deserves the freedom
Kanye
to do it.
fans
I will
to-
give you that.
If they're big enough Kanye fans to buy a Kanye gospel album, here, have some money, Kanye. Here, do another one. Do another gospel album. I don't blame Kanye. I blame the people. I think Connor here, he wants to blame Kanye. He
I want
wants
to blame
believe,
Kanye, but I can't blame Kanye all the way.
You just want to believe so badly that he's just like devised this whole scheme. I mean, if it is a scheme, I got to say this. If it is a whole like marketing
If
scheme.
it's a scheme, I will respect him 10 times more.
If it is a scheme, it has been a successful scheme. I'll
He
say
did a
that
great
much.
job. He did a great job, and I'll pat him on the back. We'll be doing another podcast about how awesome Kanye West is because he duped all these poor saps.
Yeah,
Trust me, I pray for that day. I pray for that day in the holy church of Joel Osteen.
And if you have your own opinion on this subject matter, feel free to educate us. If you have a scriptural, biblical opinion, a reference, a quote, a verse, leave it down below, and we'll definitely read all the comments.
And then your opinion will be validated.
Even if you hit the dislike button, it still helps us out, okay? Even if you
We
leave an
appreciate it.
angry, argumentative, insulting comment,
You might get your own video as a rebuttal.
Oh, yeah. And that's all in good fun. Look, I've been on the internet a long time. I can take a little criticism from some nobody across the globe, right? Hit the subscribe if you want to be on top of all of our future videos. I got live concert footage coming out the rest of this month. We got a brand new Clubhouse Jazz show on January 25th. Be giving you some more information about that. We'll be recording it.
And that is the OCast, and we are signing out.